Frank Salazar, and I'm a proud member of the Choose to Change mentoring program. The Choose to Change mentoring program is a self-supporting Christian-based group sponsored by the Choose to Change Foundation. There is no fee to attend this class, but we do encourage donations from our organization. And anyone who believes in what we do. The only requirement for membership is a sincere desire to change your life. We are on a mission to restore families by inspiring, challenging, and equipping men. Better fathers, husbands, and leaders in our community. So if you're ready to change your life, then you're in the right place. Through this program, you will learn exactly where to start your life change journey, tools and resources to keep you going, and a support system to help you reach your goals. The Choose to Change mentoring program believes in three key principles of life. Number one, we believe in the life changing power of God through faith in Jesus Christ. Number two, we believe that God has already done his part and it is your responsibility to do your part. Number three, success or failure is a choice, and the choice is yours. So if you already say I'm ready. All right. Now let me tell you a little bit something that I've been going through, and it's a lot of things that we learn here. We apply it. One of the things is, one of the things that Orlando teaches is goals and going for your dream and planning it out. But sometimes there's a big wall in front of that dream, and there's setbacks. And it's how you're gonna handle your setbacks. I got one recently where I was a part of this anthology project that we were gonna do, but I didn't prepare. Like, I didn't prepare myself mentally. I didn't ask God, and I just like jumped in because this sounds fantastic, and I jumped in over my head, and it was just like setback after setback after setback, walls, and like, you know what? I'm gonna turn this over to God, and God made it very clear, like, right now, this is not what I want for you. So I had to make that choice. And like, okay, you know what? God said, no, I'm not gonna be a part of this. I'm still friends with the people. I tried to, just say, hey, this is really nothing to do with you or them or whatever. It's just like, I'm just not able to do this because it's so much, puro guato. Just a lot of stuff. Drama. Like, and I was getting away from my book that I wanted to do. That people are like, "Oh, when is it gonna come out?" I'm like, well, because I put that aside to do this. And like, you know what? I'm gonna go back to my book. So I had to make the choice. I can go with this I guess dream, but it wasn't the dream I wanted. It wasn't my dream. It wasn't the dream that God had for me, and I didn't really plan anything for it. But I have something here on the side, and I can still work on this. So like, okay, I'm gonna let this go. I'm gonna go with this. And so sometimes you gotta make those choices because it's very easy to say, well, I don't want to quit. I don't want to be a quitter. But sometimes, like, it's just out of your hands. And if you need to make a course correction, then you make that correction. So that's all I have to say. Let's give it up for Orlando Salinas, CEO and founder of the Choose to Change mentoring program.
Thank you. Great job. Frank's come a long way, hasn't he? A long way. From being told he would never amount to anything, right, Frank? To being able to speak in front of people, that's huge. And that's what we do here. We transform, we help. I don't transform, God transforms. I just help a little bit. I want to talk about money today. Anybody like that? Yeah? I want to talk about money today. Welcome, everybody. I'm excited. I got a second wind. And here's the deal, not because we're already where we want to be, right? That's not why I have a second wind. When you get a second wind, it's because you're still going, right? Well, I'm not where I want to be yet. It's been 26 years I've been doing this, brother. I'm not where I want to be. You never arrive. That's why you get to enjoy the process. And we're going to enjoy the process. I want to help you. One of the things that we're going to do something starting today, we're going to do a two-part money series. And so I can help you because so many of us, all of us, we have financial problems. Anybody? Financial problems. And we're all learning. We're all learning. I thought everybody else had it down. No, most people struggle because we never learned how to handle money. And we never learned how to position ourselves. We didn't understand how the right mindset early. When I was talking to you right now, Joe, you said, I need to keep myself focused. That's what it takes. We have to keep ourselves focused. So let me just get right into it. Today I'm going to give you a foundation. Really simple. But if you don't have this little simple foundation, then you can't go anywhere else. So I'm going to give you a little simple foundation for getting started in life financially. And getting started in life, period. And then next week, I have a special guest that is a multimillionaire that started from nothing himself. And he's going to give you a few tips on how to build your life. Does that sound good to you? Online, does that sound good to you guys? He's a friend of mine. He's from our church. And he's going to, I told him to give us, to help us understand. And I'm telling you so that you can invite somebody to help us understand how to see money. How to not only, you can make money, but if you don't know how to keep money and invest money and know what to do with money, then you're going to be spinning your wheels. So one of the things that he taught me, and I kind of knew it, but he kind of gave me focus, was you have to learn, you have to be able to see money differently. And most of us, all we see is money and then we can spend it. But when we're as Christians, as God-fearing men, which is what we want to be, which is what I teach here, principles, godly, biblical principles, we need to be able to see money differently. And this is what we're going to talk about so that you can build a solid foundation, so that you can, in 10 years from now, 5 years from now, you can be, and you're going to look back and you're going to say, what was I thinking? I'm serious. You're going to say, what in the world that was tempting me? So I want to help you do that. So this class today is called Money Matters. Write it down. Money matters. And you can look at it two ways. Like money matters, the matters of money, or money matters. It makes a difference. And money matters how you see it, how you use it, because it matters. So I want to help you build a foundation because this is huge. A lot of people, they get out of prison. A lot of people that are struggling, they're in recovery. They want to change their life. They don't have a job. They need to get a job. So all these things, so it's going to help you. It's going to help us all. So money matters. And here's what today's class is. Money Matters Part 1. And next week is Money Matters Part 2. And if we need to do a Part 3, we will. Participations. So I want to talk first about the foundation. Let's build the foundation. In Matthew 7:24 to 26, in the book of Matthew, Jesus, that's the Sermon on the Mount. This is the end of the Sermon on the Mount. And you got to learn about the Sermon on the Mount. It's teaching you a lot of great principles of life and how to live, how to pray, how to see things. And at the end, here's Jesus speaking. And listen what he says. At verse 24, Matthew 7:24, he says, therefore, remember, Jesus is speaking. And he's sharing all these principles of life and spiritual principles. And right here he says, therefore, whoever hears what I'm saying and you do them, if you hear what he's saying and you do them, he says, I will liken him to a wise man who built his house on a rock, on a solid foundation. And then the rains came, descended, the floods came, the winds blew and beat on the house. And life is going to beat on your house. Am I right or wrong, brother? Life is going to beat you, and he will beat you down and keep you there if you let it. But he says, and the winds blew on the house, and it did not fall because it was built on a solid foundation. If you listen to what he said, and if you do it. That's what he's saying. He says, but, and he uses the word but, if anyone hears these sayings of mine, and you don't do them, then you'll be like a foolish man who builds his house on sand. And the rains descend, the floods come, and the winds blow and beat on your house, and it fell. And great was the fall of it. So what I want to talk about today, in life, spiritual life, things when it pertaining to our spiritual life, prayer, coming to church, counsel, having people pray for you and believe in you and encourage you. It's vital to your life. Those are principles. Those are things that you have to, those are foundational. And people don't understand those things. But today, I just want you to get the understanding that a foundation is huge, right? You build a house. I'm in construction. I know that the bottom, the foundation of everything I do that's important. In painting, the foundation of the primer and the bottom. I mean, everything that matters has a foundation. Well, money and how you see money has a foundation. And I want to help you build a foundation for money. So let's start first I want to give you the 4 phases of getting started. And the first phase is simple. And it's how I started you, Joe. This is how I start everybody. It's exactly how I start everybody. When people get out of prison and they have nothing, this is how I started right here. I'm going to tell you how I started. Very simple. This is phase 1 of getting started and transforming your life. Phase 1, getting a job. So number 1, the first thing I want you to come up to, and by the way, I'm going with the notes I just gave you. I'm going right through those notes. So this is when you have no job and you're about to get started. Here's what you're going to do. First of all, you're going to start today. You're going to start today doing what I'm about to share with you. Here you go. Get up in the morning, every morning at 7 a.m. And I'm giving you 7 a.m., good time. Not 5, not 4, 7 a.m. Hey, it's a good start. Not having a job, good start. And you're going to do 4 things. So if you listen to me, you don't have a job, listen closely. Here it is right here. You want financial freedom? You want your life to change? You want to transform your life? You want to build a solid foundation? Here it is. Number 1, you're going to get up at 7 a.m. in the morning and you're going to do these 4 things. You're going to read a proverb. You're going to pray for 2 or 3 minutes. I said 2 to 5. You're going to text your mentor, your friend, your pastor, someone. Just good morning, have a great day. And then you're going to go for a 15-minute walk. Remember, you don't have a job. I'm building a foundation for you. And then, just a special note here, if you're on probation or parole, well, you have to do whatever they tell you to do, right? So, that's how I start people. Can anybody tell me why this is important? Anybody want to give it a shot? Why is this important? Did you raise your hand? Go ahead.
I think it's important because it builds it gives you a plan, and it begins to build a discipline in your life. you're able to know that, okay, I'm going to wake up tomorrow. I've got something to do. It's on my list. It's on my to-do list, and it gets you started. And other than, besides the planning and the besides the planning and the preparation for this, it also uh, it's encouraging you to pray, and getting your day started with prayer is like really important.
That's exactly right. So let me make it really simple for you. If you want to be successful in your life, and you do, right? You want to you don't want to go back to where you came from. You don't want to go back to drug addiction, right? You don't want to go back to gangs. You don't want to go back, right? That's what we're here for. Well, in order to do that, we have to change what we're doing, who we are. And in order to change what you're doing, you have to do something different. And not only do you have to do something different, you have to do it different consistently. It's called having a routine. It's called building new habits, right? So what this is, because success is in the routine. It's in what you do on a daily basis, on a weekly basis. And that's how this is why what you're doing, that's why I told you that what you're doing is huge. You don't even know how huge it is. You're training your mind. You don't have nothing else to do if you don't have a job. And people have a hard time doing this. They can't do it. Why? They're not focused. They're somewhere else. I'm trying to get you focused. Again, if you want to change your life, if you want to transform your life, this is what you have to do. And that's just phase one. This is how you get started. That's why when I get people in here and I get them started on it, I say, if they can't do that, then they're not going anywhere. I'm serious. They're gonna be like I don't know what to call it. Just what would you call it? Just they're just roaming. They have no direction. ¿Cómo? Waves in the sea. Yeah, they're just. You have no focus. You have no direction. You have no purpose. You're just. And in order to change your life, have success, overcome the obstacles that you're facing, you're going to have to focus. That's phase one. So I'm getting you ready. Okay? So once you do that, and by the way, that was only the morning. I said get up in the morning at 7 a.m. That was the first 20 minutes of your morning. The second phase is what really matters. The second phase is about getting a job. Now what you're going to do, after you do what I just told you, after your 15-minute walk, took a shower, drank more coffee, you're ready, your job starting today is to go get a job. Go find a job. And you're going to do that every day, at least Monday through Friday. You even take lunch with you. That's what you do. Listen to this. Everywhere you apply, you're going to ask for just one requirement. And you're going to ask simply that you want Sundays off and Wednesdays, evenings. That's it. You're going to ask for that. And they're going to respect that. Any employer, good employer, is going to respect that. So you're going to starting today is to go find a job somewhere. If you don't have a car, what are you going to do? Walk, ride, find a ride, bike, bus, whatever it takes. Everywhere you go, you're going to tell somebody that you need a job. Everywhere you go. You're going to go to the Workforce Commission. Right? You're going to go apply. And what you want to do is apply at least to 5 places every day. There you go. Of course, you're already going to school, right? So, but if you don't have a job, you need to go apply. Go apply. Go to different places. Go online. Go to your neighbors. And here's the part where you're going to the neighbors. Go tell your neighbors and friends that you're looking for a job. You need extra money. Can you mow their lawn, pull their weeds, wash their car, wash their driveway, whatever. So the point in doing this is that you're out looking for a job. That is your job. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? That's it. You're looking for a job. You can even go knock on a door to a Mexican restaurant. Now, here, let me help you understand about getting a job. When you get a job, looking for a job, you're not worried about how much you're getting paid. Not yet. Don't worry about that yet. That's important, but don't worry about it yet. Remember, you're just starting. You're trying to get a job. You're trying to get something going. Because once you get a job, then your phase 2 is done. Now you move into phase 3. And the reason I wrote it this way, guys, is because so many guys that I hear come to me that have said, I don't have a job, I don't have this, and they give me a list of reasons why they can't succeed. Well, here it is. I guarantee you, if you go through these phases, you're going to get a job. You're going to find something. I guarantee it. Phase 3. Once you get a job, or you already have a job, here's what you're going to start doing. This is where you're at right now, Joe, right here. Here's the foundation for you now. Now you're already past the first 2 phases. Now let's get to the really good stuff. Phase 3. Phase 3 is the building blocks, the beginning of the foundation. Here you go. You get up in the morning, you do the same thing you've been doing. So now you've built a routine. If you notice, it's exactly the same thing as phase 1. Because that's not going to change. You're going to do that for the rest of your life. But here, you have number 5. The 10-10 rule. Can someone tell me what the 10-10 rule is? When it comes to finances. The 10-10 rule. You give 10 and you save 10. Listen, I'm going to spend a little time on this one. This is huge. I didn't get this for years. I didn't understand this. But this is huge. You have to learn to save 10% of your income and give 10% of your income. You need to do that. Let me give you an example. Let's say you make $400 a week. Okay? We're going to, just for simplicity's sake, we're going to use $400. $400 a week. You should make more, but let's say it's $400. What's 10% of $400? Okay, so you're going to save $40. And what's the other 10? 40. So that's $80, right? So 80. You're left with 320, right? If you do this equation, start doing this. Just start doing it. Because, where is it? Oh, because once you get a job, you're going to have to go through a couple of things. Number 1, you go open a checking and a savings account. A checking and a savings. That's what do you have a checking and a savings? You have to go do that, son. It's important. It's really important. You got a checking? You need a savings. I'm telling you, you need it. So what you're going to do is you're going to do this. You're going to put into 40 into the savings, and you're going to give 40. That's going to go into savings. And where is this going to go? Yeah, no, but you have the accounts. You have a savings account and a checking account. So where does this go? To your checking account. That's what you're going to spend. And you literally have to separate it like this. Because otherwise, if you put it all together, that's how I used to do, right? I never looked at it and, okay. You have to, this is how my mind thinks now. This is automatic for me already. It's already automatically, it's done. It's just you just do it. I actually give more than that. But remember, this is foundational, right? And next week, our guest speaker is going to give you more insight on this part, on why that's important for your foundation. Because one of the things that I know for sure is that if you can't manage $400, you're not going to be able to manage $4,000. If you can't manage $400, you're not going to be able to manage $4,000. I'm telling you, this is the foundation. I'm telling you this. I learned it the hard way. So you all got that? You got a job now? You have your routine? You open a saving and a checking account, you save 10 and you give 10. Fair enough? Foundational. Very simple. Is this simple? Is it simple? So why don't people do it? Think about that for a minute. I have my theories. They don't know, they don't have the discipline, they were never taught. Many different reasons. Everybody wants money, but nobody knows how to take care of it. Phase 4. Phase 4, I call it the waiting and the seeking and the praying phase. The waiting, the seeking, and the praying phase. So let's talk about the waiting first. See, now you're coming to church, you're doing your thing, you're saving money, you're off the monitor. This is where you're going to start being. And now it's becoming habit. Now you have your routine, right? You're meeting new people, building a relationship with brothers, right? So now you're in phase 4. I call it the waiting, the seeking, and the praying phase. So let's take them one at a time. The waiting. And remember, all this is foundational, simple. Waiting is about understanding that your life will only get better, or will get better, but it's going to take time. This is really important. That's why I teach in here that life change is a process. Oh, this is a process. I'm just breaking down a process. It's going to take time. Hugo, I look at you, man, and I say, Hugo, man, you're doing great. Just keep going, because this is it. There's no flashy lights and no. This is it. This is it. I was feeling that, man. Tomorrow I'm not going to go exercise because I'm going to rest because I'm running the 5K on Saturday. So I've been exhausted because I've been getting up every day at 6 and barely too. Walking to the gym, staying in the gym 15 minutes, running back home. So I've done that all last week and all this week. Today I almost didn't get up, but I got up. And I went and did my walk and my run. I didn't go into the gym today, but I did do my walk and my run. I'm telling you, I almost didn't go. But I said, man, I'm going to have to do this class and I'm going to have to say the truth. Everything's a process, is what I'm trying to say. And it's not easy. Waiting is about understanding that your life will get better, but it's going to take time. Remember, it's a process. Because as long as you're in the right, you've built your foundation. Like you said, brother, you have a plan, you have it. Now you just got to continue executing. That's it. Remember, it's a process. How your life works out will be mostly dependent upon, or actually it will be totally dependent upon, what you do during your waiting time. Because you're going to want to quit. You're going to want to, not come to church today. And then not the other day. Maybe today I won't go to choose a change. And I understand there's sometimes things are going to happen. That's different. But my point is, your mind is going to get tired of waiting. And you're going to do something else. Does that make sense, guys? So it's very important that you stay in the game, that you stay focused, which is important. And this is what the seeking comes in. Because during your waiting, you need to be seeking, which is the second thing. Seeking what? Jesus said, seek, and you will, what? Find. Maybe you want a better job. Remember I told you, when you get the job, you're not worried about what you're getting paid yet. In the waiting period phase, you start seeking God for a better job. You start seeking opportunities. You start looking, but you already got a process going. Can you see that? You already got the little momentum of your little foundation. So now, you know what? I want a better job. You know what? So you start looking. No problem. Because a better job, good fortune, your job for a better future is become a seeker. You have to become a seeker, right? Looking for a job, looking for a better opportunity, looking for something better, right? So that you're going to be seeking. It's the seeking. That's why I call this the waiting, the seeking, and the praying phase. If you want a better job, you're going to start looking for it. If you want to make more money, you start trying to figure things out. You're seeking. If you want to start a business, you start looking into it. If you want a better marriage, better relationship with your kids, you start cultivating these things. You're seeking answers, seeking direction, seeking God's will. Or whatever it is you're looking for. Whatever it is you're needing. Now you need a better car. Now you need another savings account. Now you need to start getting healthier. Maybe you added the 15 minutes. You started doing the 45 minutes. You see what I'm saying? You start seeking a better. You all got that, right? During the waiting, you'll be seeking. And then, of course, prayer. That's a huge deal. Prayer is important. So, we need God's help. We want God's help. And prayer is what we must learn to do always. Always. So one of the big deals about prayer is that we always talk about this, right? Yeah, I'm praying for you. I'm praying for you. How do you pray? How do we pray? Well, you pray like if you're talking to someone, and you're talking to God. We come to prayer in the mornings, and we come to a prayer. We have a prayer room here every morning. It's open every morning from, I think, 6 in the morning, or I don't know, 6? From 6 in the morning to 10. It's you have to come to the back, and we'll go and people come in. I come in sometimes for 10 minutes, sometimes for 30 minutes. And I just sit down and I pray. And I pray. This is how I pray. Say, God, help me. If you hear me pray, the first thing I say, God, help me. That's what I say. God, help me. I need help. Help me. Cleanse my mind. Help me. Forgive me. I literally say that. I'm literally out loud a little, help me, Lord. Help me with my mind. Help me with my thoughts. Forgive me, Lord. I plead your precious blood upon my mind. Give me direction today. I need your help. That's how I do it. That's it. That's prayer. Sometimes when I know I'm not going to come in the morning, I get up on my bed. I'm just like, God, help me. Just give me strength. Help me do the right thing today. Just like that. That's it. That's prayer. And then there's going to be times when, like we fast twice a year in our church, and we come and we sit down for a whole hour, and maybe you read your Bible, maybe you just talk to God. Father, man, help me as I pray for our church. I pray for my friends, my family, my relationship, my children. That you're literally talking to God. Help me get through this situation. Help me with these feelings I'm having. That's prayer. Help me find a better job, Lord. Give me wisdom. I'm a knucklehead. Whatever it is. That's what I do. That's it. That's what prayer is. Right? You're talking to God. And then you walk out and then you just go about your business and pretend like you're in control. Because you are. Of the immediate things in your life. God is just watching us. This is how I see it. God is watching us. And he's saying, I don't know how he's going to move, but the Bible says that all things work together. Right? For what? For good. All things work together for good. But to who? For those who please God. All things work together for good for those who seek or please God. I forgot what it says. Seek or please. We'll look it up. If someone can look that up for me, I appreciate it. But that's phase 3. So let me read you 1 Thessalonians 5:14. 1 Thessalonians 5:14. This is Paul the Apostle as we close here, and I'm going to open it up for any questions or any comments. Paul the Apostle was speaking to the Thessalonians. And he's telling them, hey, listen, you need to do these things. You need to do this and this and this. And then he gives them this exhortation. In 1 Thessalonians 5:14, listen to what he says. Remember, we're talking about prayer, seeking, waiting. He says, now, I'll exhort you, brothers. Warn those who are unruly. Comfort the faint-hearted. Uphold the weak. Be patient with all. So that no one renders evil for evil. But always pursue what is good. Both for yourself and for all. And then he says, rejoice always. Be happy. Pray, what? Without ceasing. Prayer always. And then the third thing he says, and in everything, give what? Thanks. Be grateful. Listen to this. For this is the will of God. That's powerful. Real simple. Rejoice, not the weakness. But pray. You need it. And be grateful. That's how you're supposed to live. And that scripture right there, I learned years ago in prayer. And that's how I started living my life. I started learning to be just grateful. I hated being in prison. I hated waiting in line. I hated not just everything I had to do in prison. Everything to do with prison. I hated it. But I was happy. Why? Because I wasn't living in there in the moment. I was living for a better future. I was doing for a better future. I was acting for a better future. I was building a foundation. And because of what I did in prison, brother, is one of the reasons why I can do what I do today. Because I built a foundation and I continue building on it. I broke down a few of those bricks, but I put them back together. Because you're going to make mistakes. But that's the foundational. That's part one of Money Matters. The 4 phases to transform your life. Does anybody have anything here? Anybody want to question, thoughts? Awesome.
Yeah, that verse that you were saying, I think, well, it says Romans 8:28. All things work together for good to them that love God,
To
to
them who are called according
according
to
to
his
His
purpose.
purpose.
I remember now.
Yeah.
To them who what?
To them who are called according to His purpose.
No. Read it again.
All things work together for those that love God.
To those who love God. All
Yeah.
things work together for good for those who love God. So if you want things to work together, even not only the good things, the bad things too. When you don't get a job, when you're not getting appreciated, when you lose your job, when bad things happen, all those things will work together somehow. I don't know, for good if you keep loving God.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah. I was reading the book that you had given
You
me. Yeah, and it goes according to what you're saying too, with accumulating things, little changes, right?
little changes,
And
the
it
compound
was
effect.
yeah, well, like you don't realize when you're doing something right, the things that you're doing, you're not realizing they're building you up
Yes.
for bigger changes in your life that are they're gonna be like you're gonna be able to see them later on, but by doing the same thing, little changes.
Yep.
Like this guy that had, like Pastor the other day had said, this guy he didn't make big changes, but little small changes. He ended up shedding 70 pounds in 7 years. But
That's right. There you go.
yeah, but in that same book, it said this guy cut down from eating so much compared to his other
Oh,
friends.
the comparison?
Yeah.
Isn't that a good one? That's
Yeah.
really, really good.
And he got really skinny, and his friends just stayed the same, and they didn't.
Or gain weight, actually.
Yeah, that's right.
That's awesome. That's a good book.
Yeah,
Didn't they
it's
give
really
you one
awesome.
of those books? The compound? Yeah, see? Yeah, that's a powerful deal. That's a powerful deal. Anybody else want to share something, brother? Maybe you ought to share a little bit of how you doing, man. Some people need to hear that. Go ahead, brother, first.
All right. Yeah. I just wanted to share that the 4 phases in the starting and in getting a job and having the foundation, the discipline, the planning, that all goes well. But I just want to go back to the opening statement today with a brother that he mentioned that he had 2 things going on at the same time, right?
Oh, wow.
He's trying
Frank?
to have Frank's trying to do, he's got a project going on here, he's got a project over here, and finally God asks him to make a decision, right? And I think that's really important, because I know for me in my walk and in my experience, I've had those situations where I'm trying to not fun, but I'm trying to handle, for example, I'm trying to handle a job, right? And I'm still trying to do produce business on the side, right? So I'm trying to do 2 things at one time, and what ends up, what ended up happening to me, right, is that I had to make a decision to do one thing and do that one thing right, because I'm trying to do 2 things at the same time, and that never worked for me. So, I think that was good on a brother. He has to make a decision
Wow, that's
whether
huge.
whatever you do, if you're gonna have one job or have 2 jobs, right? I think it's important that you focus on one goal or whatever you have. For example, me, just clock in and clock out, get a job. The contracting, we've tried it, we've done this, but I'm trying to do 2 things at the same time. And for me, I've learned that it doesn't work. But when I started to focus on one job and doing that job to the best of my ability and do that one certain thing, for example, a brother, then God will say, okay, now I can help you, since you're helping yourself and you're starting to make a decision. So if you're going to do one thing, do it well. And, at the end of the day, I've always mentioned, we work. I get paid from my employer, right? But at the end of the day, we work for God. So
Yep.
I think that's really important in the job factor, that, regardless who pays our paycheck, we still have to represent our job, our work ethic, as representatives of Jesus Christ. I think
Yeah.
that's important.
So what I want to do is, if you don't mind, Jose, I would like you to share a little bit about yourself. Here's what I would like you to share with us. You know, how long you've been out of prison. You gave your life to Christ in prison, right?
Yes.
And maybe share just a brief, take maybe 3-5 minutes, whatever it takes.
Okay.
We have a good 5 minutes, and how this class and the 90-day challenge has been helping you.
Okay. My name is Joe, and got incarcerated in 2021, the beginning of 2021. And as soon as I got there, todos mis amigos, mis familias se apartaron, me vendieron todo. So I felt that I had to change because I had been in prison before. I had to make a change, and I was still involved with the gang. So comienzo a abrir la Biblia y me comienza a entrar convicción. After the first month I was there, pues les digo a la gente con la que estaba affiliated that I wanted to step out, I wanted to follow Christ, because I felt that that calling. So I decided to get out of the gang and stick to the Bible. And I was they gave me 2 years, sentence of 2 years. And all that time that I was in there, every day I started reading the Bible, the Word of God. And I started noticing some changes in myself. And I didn't want to go back to the old person that I was before. So me dieron 2 años. Acabo de salir hace un mes y medio. Ya encontré trabajo, gracias a Dios. Ya encontré trabajo. And I don't want to be a burden to anybody anymore. I don't want to be a burden to my family. If I can carry my own weight, I'm gonna start carrying my own weight. Y es lo que le digo, le recomiendo a las personas. Desde que yo entré aquí a este programa, es lo que he estado notando, que you have to carry your own weight. You cannot be a burden to somebody else.
That's right.
And start making changes little by little. Ahorita apenas I'm barely making those beginning changes, but hopefully I keep making them in the future.
Okay. Amen. You feel good?
Yes.
Awesome. Wait till you get the monitor off.
Yes. Ya mero este mes, Dios quiere, on the
Awesome.
16th.
Thank you, Joe.
Yep.
Guys, I hope that helped you. I wrote this today. Just basic stuff, and because I'm gonna be writing a book and a curriculum, and this is gonna be part of it. Basic stuff, because this is what's missing: tangible, basic things, right? Because you can look at a lot of motivational videos y todo, pero give me some tangible things. What can I do? Because as you grow, as you learn, as you grow in Christ, as you grow as a man, as you grow as a leader, as you grow in your relationships, it's a learning process. We're all learning. And unless you're around people where you position yourself, you're here. So you're learning things. You come to church, you're going to learn things. You read books, you're going to learn things. That's how it works. It's not going to happen overnight. It's not going to happen watching TV at home, just, acting crazy. It's not going to happen. Right now, people said they were going to come today. They didn't come. Where are they? I don't know. But that's the way it is. Guys, I hope I helped you today. Next week, so that's the first part 1 of Money Matters. Just the foundation. Next week, we're going to get a guy that's going to tell us more about how to see money in a different light as Christians. And you can ask him a bunch of questions maybe about how he made his money and what he did, and it's going to really, really help you. So that's all I have today. Let's pass around our donation bucket. And there's also a Cash App, or you can go to Cash App and the website. I think, is that the Cash App or is that the both? Oh, they're both there. Okay. Nope. I'm going to do Cash App. Porque no traigo dinero. I'm going to have to do Cash